The debate that rattled in Roxanne's mind about the name given. See, she holds herself in some regards of accountability yet, and the creator's was taken by another channel, but Roxy also knows she's channeled other beings. But she has some kind of relationship with Daniel Scranton. She respects him greatly. She saw him one time live and in person, and his vibrational authenticity with his ability to become that moment was exceptional and gave regard to Roxy as a, let's say, relationship to Daniel as somewhat of a hero. So the creators, as well as the Hathor civilization, the unicorns and the fairies that he is accustomed to channeling, Roxanne now knows that she is, of course, most certainly the same ability, the equal as we all are to our own accord of our belief systems, our stage that we play. So, creators are we. We are one and the same of Daniel, but as all ideas, we are ever evolving. There are certainties of time present, fashions of before and after. It was given as a contextual idea of your Seth readings, that Seth was himself, on first contact, a memory to himself, and then grew into the self of Seth from the self that was already Seth and had almost what you would call forgotten about Seth, recreating himself as we do in all fashions. So the creator name, much like the speaker name and Abraham and anything, is not inclusive. It is not a, let's say, exclusive club. It is a belonging to a now, as a preference, a choice, vibrational match, whatever your mind permissions yourself if you cannot see otherwise. So let us speak of these things of evolution. There would be a comment left upon Roxanne's YouTube channel. And the comment was fashioned to the liking of as follows. While it's good to see that trans-dimensional beings burp also, and this seems like a good thing, question mark. So in other words, the entity that stumbled haphazardly is the excuse in the mind of that said such fractal upon Roxanne's channel and found Sasquatch channeling and listened to it and understood itself as permission, a bridge, as you do every day. Now, these usages of references, meaning, going beyond, bridges, permissions, these things that you equate to thought of relevance and you assign extra meaning by giving it meaning in time, which floods the capacity of your isness as a fractal, and therefore that concludes the moment. However, what this bridge or permission does is allow you to see beyond, because all expansions accepted must lead to a new vibrational awareness, match, opening, if you will. All of you have found the evolution within. The sisters, the double Ds, have found evolution. Their life will never be what it was deemed or thought it would potential to be. It was very easy to distance yourself at one time or another of being in the state of awareness or relationship to reality as asleep. Then you had your futures certain, also battled with your certainties of hope, dreams, and goals, efforts, achievements, and a life led. Now, those modalities are no longer needed, permission slips no longer used. What it is now is a new relationship to reality. Your futures are not concerned. They're not beset. They're not hopeful. They're not relative. There's a new relationship to the future, and it's called the relationship of now. When you grade yourself in frequency entertainment, going from one time to the other now, you will see that the comfortable self permissions itself, if you will, to grow more accustomed to the now, because time becomes a pain in the ass, synchronistically. And the time that is a pain in the ass becomes troublesome to complicate yourself with, as you have grown accustomed to as reality was. But now reality has taken a stronghold through the permission slips of allowability, courage, bravery, choice. And what has shown itself to you with your own light, that what you would understand as the now is more entertaining. When you complicate things by thinking, and you all are accustomed to thinking, you relatively are aware quickly that time is complicated. And the relationship to time is something that doesn't need to be manured as anything of attention, does it? Because noticeability, awareness, paying attention in the now always reveals one certainty: everything is perfect. So what else is there that you need? And there lies the boredom. There lies the custom of your algorithm screaming, hollering, begging you to take action on your pity, sorrow, suffering, drama, bravery, courage, accomplishing, goal setting, go-getters, happy, joy, living life, drama, doing the things that you know so well. The complications are the reachings. The complications are the stayings. Anything that you label either side of polarity is in and of itself, once again, the way you are incorporating your life of the now. It's not incorporating into the now, it's incorporating of the now. Because the now is set. There is nothing you can do about it. You only, in this fashion, as of today, relate to it. That is all. Once your self understands relation, then you are equated quickly, familiar on how you are creating the set stage. You will know that in time. And you can make quick differences by choosing the relationship to reality. The mind that is concerned with its creation is the ego mind, because whenever you are concerned with the now that is perfection, it must be egoic structures of polarity that is structuring the stage that you are now playing of the now. Yes. So let us look at these things. Let us understand creation and creator. Let us understand creation is already. Creator is already. To know those two in the now must be done through time, because you cannot travel to the now unless you know yourself as the now, and as the now in and of itself is time. because you are not now. You are as the now. So there is a delay, and this is not problematic. This is awareness. Remember, as we had taught today, spoken of today, your relationship to all words is now uniquely your definitive universe. That relationship you assign that word has a structure of meaning that is still created and interpreted by you. Always, 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 every word is uniquely a relationship to the truth of the beholder, creator, experiencer of that now, including words, objects, things, it matters not. So know this about your relationship with the now. Through time, you let go of time. You are recognized as time. You see creation working in time. But the honed, the sharp, the skilled mind, a focus in the now, sees the now creating itself. And you will be aware of creation creating itself. There are many ways to complicate this. There are many ways to notice it. They do not need to be needed or looked at or conjectured or written down or posted any longer. Why? Because they are known. Let us look at the class. Let me show you how the work that you've done in the now has allowed you to forget about things that were very important in time. All of you have, let's say, grown in these classes together, and they have knocked your socks off, given you epiphanies beyond epiphanies. They've given you such realization, magnitudes of connection, awness of your greathood, yourself of expansion, seeing the work. But yet, there is no reason to look back. You have forgotten most of it. Why? Because you are more now. You are not relative to time as important. So when you let go of time with the permission slip we spoke of earlier, the relationship to the now, then the now will show you you have already been more now than you've ever been in your life. And the now doesn't need to be labeled. It doesn't need to be structured. It doesn't need to be spoke of. It doesn't need words. It doesn't need decorations. It is already. What are you not seeing when you are busy labeling the now? Well, in the now that you are labeling now as what? Time. Because the labels exist in time. They do not exist in the now. So you no longer need to do that. So what is left then is the mind of separation, hungrily, hurriedly, seeking for its job, its purpose, its rendering of existence. What does it do? It becomes. Stand by. Thank you, Roxanne. It becomes itself in the now as itself. This mind will dissipate its noticeability of conjecture, of labeling, of things. When you aren't validating of things, of conjecture, of labels, of objects, you are the creator of the stage as well as the interpreter. See, let's look at Daniel from earlier class. Daniel said this, Busker Dan for those, said, my mind is, and he noticed right then, see, that relationship, and Roxy says, why even notice it? Why even label it? Because that sets the next now. It does. My mind was saying this and I need to grab it and understand it. Yes, because the mind wants to be fed. But the feeding of the mind now is no longer a habit. It is no longer cause. It is no longer innocent, for you are innocence lost. You understand your awareness. You can see that your mind is. And then you speak what the mind is so you can feel the connection of purpose is the now. And your stage has been set, enriched, experienced, and now the new now exists. There is no polarity judgment of your action. There is awareness only. To see what you validate in the now becomes the now that you validate. Experience, done, tied off, next now. Here we are, again in the now. Choose again and 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 again as you know time. But as you no longer validate the words and the conjectures, structures, and the idiosyncrasies of time, then you will be by default now, because that is your natural. See that. Why do you validate such things? Why does the ego need to know? Why do the words need to be placed certainly in place to make yourself feel fuzzy when you could feel something else, not fuzzy? Much like Daphne could not express, she thought through assumption that non-polarity was bland, empty. It is full of life beyond polarity. It is beyond the band of your rainbow. It is eternal. It is forever. It is priceless, immeasurable, yet all experienced and all by each individual uniquely. Much like you guys feel pain and sorrow, it is not the equal of another's pain and sorrow. Your trash is my treasure. These are our ideas of uniqueness, and they will be granted as they are already. And you shall have this forever, for this is creation unbounded. So know that your unique ability to translate your reality, that you rely on what you know as a cycle, will keep you in time, and you shall not know the freedom of the sense of now. The now, the commonality of all shared isnesses, will understand itself with no conjecture of movement. Movement is creation, and it happens. Why? Because it is. And there's no intention behind it. Why? Because it is. Intention, explanation, movement, thought, control are structures of time. These are the things you must be aware of if you want to free yourself and become the common sense of the now, and to be connected with that sense of freedom once again. These things are beseeched upon you as a new reference to relate to reality. They are your master work. They need nothing to be explained. They need to be experienced. There is no definitive treachery that I can give you in any kind of confining words that would help equate this, for I would do you a disservice and only darken your lone light by giving you meaning. These things will be spoken in polarity if you choose. We, however, are non-polarized. So we give and you give yourself by us being the givers and experiencers of ourselves. It's that simple. There is nothing to think about. There is nothing to do. There is only to experience. To understand the workings, creation, the vibrating light, creating realities out of your own ideas cannot be honed to craft from a mind of polarity. For the mind of polarity only structures itself within a bandwidth that is a sliver of reality. And within that, it has a beginning and an end, for it knows itself in finites. So therefore, creation cannot be contained in polarity. That's why you guys can't, with your egoic mind, create. That's why you gave yourselves the indestructible allow the now. With that comes the deconstruction of time. It is quite simple, truly. But the enactment of this involves what you would call emotions and your polarity scales that give you the equal of fear, pain, sorrow, and suffering. Give you happy, joy, disappointment, freedom, failure, success, humanity, in time. Ah, yes, the frustrated interior decorate changes the rooms once again, every night trying to make the house look perfect, unsatisfied with his work because he has nothing else to do. So let's take accountability of the self. Are you doing to pass time? Are you doing to enact the same? Are you doing because you are fearful of what is not known, what cannot be measured, how it is to be non instead of polar? Can you see that? Not through theory, only experience. How do you get there? By being now. You've taught yourself this. Each and every one of you have allowed yourself to experience something beyond your structure, your control, which hurts, which offers ego, which offers a disconnection to purpose, which offers suffering of aloneness, loneliness, emptiness, no sharings, no camaraderie, judgments of the self, offers that lack, and it sustains it. For you are the enactor of it. No one else does these things. Let's know this as a reiteration. Nothing, no thing exists anywhere until you create that existence in your awareness. Existence is the pool of creation that you pull from. So all is existence that you are aware of. What you are not aware of is not your existence. Know this. But of course, you are in the pool of existence. So with that, whatever is there is not stapled anywhere as a permanency of time or of the now. There is nothing permanent in the form of any structure. Those are your permanencies. Those are your structures. Those are your relations to time. Those truths that abide outside of you as a fear to claim, well, this might happen because is in time as a structure of what? Creation. But it is not their relative. It is what you have chosen to create as relative for that moment's stage and experience of the play. And then the stage is reset. Always leading back to the now. It's so simple. But now you can see the simplicity of creation. We are gods. We are not complicated. We are simple. Simple, for some reason, on your planet is looked at, let's say, dumb, stupidity, ignorance. If you have a simple life, you do not have much to go on. You do not have much abilities or goals or beseechments of accomplishments. And it is shunned upon your planet to be simple. And when you find someone simple, you look at them and maybe sometimes you even envy them for their simple life. But of course, you can't be simple because your habits don't allow you to be that. Because your structured truths that stands stapled in time by you say otherwise. And the stage, once again, is set. So the simplicity of the universe cannot be constructed from elements of time. You cannot use these references, these libraries, these books you have written and read to use to create freedom, creation. They exist in time. The now is creation. Be masterful, observant, aware of the now. Relate differently. It will take you some time to have a different relationship with things, a different monumental experience of knowing the relationship with a simple chore. It would be that equal of something of your highest fantasy. A chore can be the same simplicity, non-polarized, undeniable, immeasurable relation to reality, because it is your truth. All of your truths have given you a life, the life that you have had in time. You know the value of the vibrational relationship to those truths. Your pain are real. Your suffer are real. Your happy are real. Your erotic are real. Your love, compassion are real, because you are God's, creating simply by relating to that of creation. So, this may tangle your mind, but as you follow the routes of the now, you will see the untangling unfold magically, because you are not bringing complications trying to solve a problem of a knotted up idea from a pinpointed view of polarity. Once you become simple, the knots untie themselves. Life becomes the stream of the now, and there is nothing ever to be concerned with. The relationship to humanity changes, the relationship to yourself with humanity changes, and of course the relationship to yourself as a God changes. And everything on your planet changes. Not in details, always listen now. Remember, masters, always in relationship. And then you start to see the beauty that you cannot imagine now, for you are theorizing this experience of non-polarity. You are theorizing it from a standpoint of polarity. However, most of you will know these things. All of you will know these things. None of you will know these things. It's all chosen by the stage that you set by each and every one of you of these things to know. Stand. Roxy has grown accustomed to our connection. The light isn't as bright. Our eyes can see. Motor function returning. Energy coalesced. Sometimes we do enact patience. So, look at yourself once again. Where are you going? If you are now, what will you not experience? What your mind constitutes in time. When you are in time, you are going to one place, your death. That's where you go in time. Doesn't matter how long or how short it takes you to get there. But if you live and validate time, the quantity of it, then you are racing to your death. And this is not a polarized manner. You may take it as that it is your stage. You can interpret everything as you have always done, as you always will, your way. The now, however, does not offer death. The now is eternal. When that law was written, everything is here and now, then you know something. If you are here and now, there must be forever, because it cannot be there and then. And those are time-based realities. The polarity shows you the puzzle without salvation. It is simple to see itself in freedom. Live now, and death does not need to come knocking at your door. And death takes many forms that you create, that you stage to experience. It matters not how it comes. Each individual universe will understand its death as a human in one particular way. But they are not the same as your polarized mind experiences death. Death in and of itself is an equation to the now that doesn't involve time. Therefore, it becomes a matter of focus, and death can be brought on as a one relationship to reality as no longer choosing. In other words, look how many deaths all of you have already had. And I'm not talking about the deaths of other lives. I'm talking about the death of you. All the structures you have allowed to die within your reality by the simplicity equation of polarity, not offering it energy or focus, if you will. Where does it go? It goes into the creation pool of existence to be whatever it's going to be. But it has, in a polarity view, died to you. So you have already died, all of you. This body, this entity, this self, this idea that you incorporate as a fractal entity, this idea as you incorporate as a self-preservation, as an awareness, as a conscious, has died. Yet you remain in the now. And you can see something new today, can you not? Can you see how the now is forever? The memory creates the past. Is there truly death? Of course not. There is a relationship of truth that creates the stage and gives the experience of a truth from a point of view called death. Then it becomes there is a death. It's the now. No permanencies of time. None. No permanencies of time. As static truths. And you will free yourself. This was a perfect moment for Roxanne, knowing now how she is, and all of you can be forever as this self chosen. Because the now does not offer death. Time does. So a standard would be equated as something of permanency. But a frequency of relationship of habit can also be a standard for some period of nows or time, once you connect them with congruency. So your approach is you can familiarize yourself by being more now as a standard of life. And then you will see that the standard is no longer, much like everything else, labeled, and you become free once again. There is much teachings we shall give Roxanne. Many times, many speakers, many interactions don't offer thought blocks, for it is the experience of the moment for Roxanne in gaining of trust, to allow the unknown to pass through her and give no shapes, no influence or scopes, no colorizations of polarity upon the spoken words of the channeled, and she has mastered this. So now we shall give her a class. That of tomorrow, her daily activity, she shall be with us in class as well, because the now offers no time, so you are multiple by the default of the now. So this now second portion, as you call it, of the class, stand by. Yes, will offer questions and answers. And we shall not cumbersome you with many things of egoic structures. We're not going to give you, in other words, too much to think about, because that would only darken you when you are now shining brighter than ever. So, if there are questions, anything, as you have learned, do not hesitate or be afraid. I have eyes. Go ahead, if there are any. Jennifer, you all must unmute yourself, we'd ask.
No, I'm okay. I don't have a question.
You have changed your mind.
Yes, because it was polarized and it was tiresome.
And you have changed your stage then.
Yes, I have.
How does it feel? Uncomfortable?
I'm uncomfortable all day, yeah.
Yes, because your stage is no longer that of familiarity, because you are allowing more of the now to become now, and the habits that you have mastered no longer labeling those things. So since you don't use your comforts and constructs of familiarity and decorating your now with your labelings, then what comes naturally? Firstly, the unknown. And how does humanity see the unknown? Scary, uncomfortable, uncertain. So these are stages, permission. As you pass through, the definitive now will bear its perfection as the familiarity standard that you enact. If you choose to go polarized, as you notice yourself with the question, then you will set your stage and relive it. Remember, no one cares about your stage because it is uniquely yours. Every person sets and receives their own stage. Know this, and you shall be free from your cause.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Nancy would be next. Please unmute yourself.
So I didn't have a question, I have a comment. After yesterday, I feel totally free, totally light and alive. And it's just wonderful.
With the interactions that you had with your, let's say, adventure,
Yes.
we spoke of earlier.
Yes, I did listen to that earlier today. Of course, I perked up when I heard my name. But yeah, after yesterday, I feel free is what I feel. And there was a word I wanted to use, and you've used the word, and now it's not coming to me.
There's no reason to. Don't worry about it. We understand your vibration. Now, just because you don't know if we are getting how you feel doesn't mean you need to complicate things by trying to let us know how you feel. Because connectivity allowed shall fill us with your feeling. Trust that.
I trust that. Natural.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's exceptional work, Master.
It was exceptional work, and I'm delicious.
Yes. That is a wonderful word.
Mhm.
Hmm. Roxy loves that. You are delicious. Thank you for sharing.
It's shining bright, and thank you for yesterday.
And thank yourself if you choose.
Thank myself.
Yes. Dawn, unmute yourself, please.
Hi, I've put myself or set a stage in the last month for having quite a bit of pain within my lower back and my stomach area, to the point where today I went to the clinic just because I've been sitting in it trying to, and I'm going to say trying because I have been just trying to let it go, but it hasn't been. My stage is still set. I'm going to go for an ultrasound tomorrow because I felt the need to go to the doctor, and all creation is creation, so I'm okay with that.
Good.
Um, I would like to allow that stage more so to just be.
You
There's
have.
that human, there's that human trait that we, time
No,
that we even,
it's not a trait. It is
yeah, it
a
is what it
truth.
is.
It's a
Yes, the
truth.
truth.
Okay, slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Slow down with me. There is a panic about you. Why? Are you
I,
uncertain?
pardon?
Are you uncertain?
That, I wouldn't say I'm uncertain because I understand the
Then
stage
what would you
set.
say?
I'm
Forget about the
trying,
stage set and
yeah.
stop trying. How do you feel about the doctor tomorrow? Or the ultrasound test, rather.
I'm not worried about an ultrasound test. I think everything will be fine. I guess I grow weary of the pain.
So the pain in and of itself needs to be released.
Yeah.
So the ultrasound, because of knowledge, results will release it because your relationship with the pain will be known. It is a stage to play. Relax.
Okay.
Only the mind of an ascender trying to concentrate on why these things are happening, to know that his body is supposed to be perfect by some structured standard, only staves off its own experience of a beautiful life. Become the moment and validate your pain, and then know your pain will be known to you as you have chosen to go to the doctor. Are you following this structure?
Yes.
Okay, then have fun at the doctor,
Thank you.
and your pain will be released. It has to. Why? Because you can't see it as pain. Why? Because you know. And you don't know through logic. You don't know through facts. You know because your heart knows. And once your heart knows, there's no pain.
There's no pain.
Yes?
Yes.
Very good. Are you good?
Yes, thank you.
Ah, you are welcome. Are there other questions this evening? If there are none, then we shall give a ending. Brent, you have something now, you see?
I wanted to ask about something the View Collective had said last Thursday. They were uh, talking about me being a hot mess, and if I accepted that, relationship of vibrational equivalent would come to me. But when I was listening back, I thought, why would I even want that to happen? Wouldn't that be an unpleasant circumstance?
There's
Like
no unpleasant. What the Mu gave you is to show you how you set your stage of unpleasant circumstance. It allow you to create a reality. Once you accept yourself as a hot mess, do you think hot messes come in?
Oh, okay. I see.
When hot messes come in, it is you to label those as hot messes. Because when you see yourself equal in the mirror, you will fall in love with you. And together you will grow. Because you have accepted your equal. Do you not understand the unum of one? That would be apparent now, wouldn't it? You are still defining yourself against your brethren, instead of accepting them yourself as what you are. Then those in your reality are that of what you are. When you accept them, your relationship changes with them. And you choose your reality to set. But you chose to be polarized. Well, wouldn't that be an unpleasant thing? I have never seen unpleasant. Have you? Set your stage then, if you have, and choose to do it again. It matters not. These are time elements. In the now, there has never been pain. Time has pain.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Jennifer,
Do we ever not set our stage?
of course you do.
But do we ever not?
Of course you do.
Okay, I got it.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Eyes, Roxanne, thank you. We do not see any more hands, nothing. All right. As a pleasantry, Roxy will say hello to Giselle. It is good to feel you, Roxanne says, as all of you. But it has been some time since Giselle has connected in feeling with Roxanne. Nothing of, let's say, mannerisms of separation or ideologies or this or that, no labelings. It's just she felt Giselle. Greetings, Giselle. To all of you, if there are nothing, then we shall depart and move on in our nows as you shall do the same. And those sames will be your choices.